Find out what's going on. Get involved. Change things from the inside. Make a difference. Take pride. Multicultural at its best. The Luisa Marshall Show. Coming up.
My Tina Turner tribute show was honored to be invited to help raise funds for the Bermuda Red Cross at the very famous Fairmont Southampton Resort Hotel. Blue crystal water, pink sand. Welcome to Bermuda. Still to come, more special highlights, behind the scenes, and the heartwarming story that changed Bermuda's attitude towards gay people. My very exclusive interview with the man who single-handedly took Bermuda by storm, taking a stand on the rights of lesbians, gay, transgenders, and bisexuals.
They more or less threatened that if I was to show up, that I would be arrested. So I showed up.
Mark Anderson is a female impersonator, also known as Sybil Barrington, the Queen of Bermuda. In 2005, he appeared in the Bermuda Day Parade, hoping to raise public awareness to encourage the government to include sexual orientation in Bermuda's Human Rights Act.
When they banned me from the parade, I said, oh, hell no, I'm not running anymore.
Nice, very, very nice. Say hi!
These trees were brought here in the late part of the 1800s from Australia to help replace Bermuda cedar trees. And Bermuda cedar tree would be this tree right here. No, that's a palm. This one right here. See this smaller one right here in the center?
Wow, Mark, how are you?
I'm fine. Welcome to Bermuda.
Oh, I love Bermuda. I can live here,
Welcome
you know,
to
Mark.
Bermuda. I was so excited to see you. I was
Oh,
like, oh my goodness.
I was excited to meet you. I mean, last night's meeting you was amazing.
Yeah.
I met Mark on stage during my show.
Who is that sexy guy talking about? I can stay with you? Where are you? Come up here. I'll stay here if you come up here. Can we have the spotlight on that guy? Ah! Sit down here.
I met a beautiful, beautiful man.
Yeah, thank you.
Mark.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so much.
much.
Thank you so much for being such a good sport.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We had a controversy on stage there when I asked if you're married.
Girlfriend? Girlfriend? No, boyfriend. What? I like that.
Yes.
Yes. Wow. How is it? How is it living in Bermuda,
Wow.
being the way you are?
It has it's wonderful now. It's wonderful now. It's getting better. It's getting better. My earliest memory, and I'm going way back in the 70s, it was very taboo to, I didn't even know what the gay word meant at that time. It was very taboo. As time went on, it was clearly understandable to what it was like to be someone who was different growing up in this country. But at that time, even in the early 80s, I couldn't even discuss it with my mother. Because again, it was taboo. It was just something you never talked about. I went from being verbally and physically abused by the other kids. Couldn't tell my mom or explain to the teachers why I was fighting. They looked at me as the bully because I was defending myself. I was an A student. 3 of the schools that I applied to be in, which were the high schools, never got in because I was always fighting. So they ended up putting me in an old boys school, which was called Robert Crawford.
Here?
Which, yes, here in Bermuda.
You were born and raised in
I was
Bermuda.
born and raised in Bermuda. And to me, it made it worse because now they put me right in the lion's den, where I'm now had to fight more guys, you know. But to move on, things have changed, and it's a lot better now, I would say, especially like in the last, I would say, 10 years. It's gotten a lot better. And as of recently, it's gotten more better. You know?
Why is it getting better for you?
Well, in 1994, I believe that was the date, Dr. John Stubbs, he was very instrumental in doing the Stubbs bill at that time. That was the first sequence into moving forward. But I do know that it not only benefited the gay community as well as the lesbian community, it also benefited the straight community too.
Yes.
And then, just up until recently of this year, well, it's always been legal to discriminate based on sexual orientation in this country, right up until that date. And June 14th is when they passed the bill in the House of Assembly here in Bermuda. So that was a long, long process. It was a great milestone that we've overcome because, as you know, there are 4 steps. The first step is, for us, was the Stubbs bill. Now it's the sexual orientation for the protection for the gays and lesbians. And I guess next would have to be civil unions and adoption. But that's not what we're looking forward to at this point. You know what I'm saying? I guess that will come later.
What are you looking forward to?
Right now, we just wanted protection. You had a great significant of people that have left this country to go to another country to be themselves, and also to not only be themselves, but just to live in peace. There was a time that I would walk down the street and people would call me verbal names, vicious names. That doesn't happen as much as it did.
So right now they're
more
open,
understanding. It's more of it's not so much of a taboo anymore. The younger generation has a lot to do with that, I believe. Yes, the younger generation has a lot. And when I say young generation, I'm talking the ones now that are 13, 14, 15, that now these kids are very verbal and they know what they want. At that age, I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know what I wanted.
Yeah. And you were scared too,
I was scared in many ways because even though I came out at the age of 15, I remember telling my grandma was the first person that I told. And even then, I was terrified because I couldn't be honest with my mother.
Just like everywhere else, it's not always happy in sunny Bermuda. Mark was scared growing up in Bermuda. He didn't understand why he is different. He asked help from the Gay Lesbian Community Center to explain to him about his identity. He finally came out at the age of 15 and told his grandmother. But still, he was terrified to tell his mother about his own sexuality. Here's more from my incredible conversation with Mark.
I looked at it as I didn't want to disappoint her, because every mother, feels some way at that time about that. Even today, you have some mothers and fathers that still feel some way if their child is gay because they don't know how to deal with it, But I can honestly say that I come from a very loving family. And that was one of my greatest supports. Even though it was taboo, even though I felt that I couldn't say anything, my family was always loving. They've always supported me in everything that I've done. And they always told me that they loved me. You had a lot of people that didn't even have that,
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I decided one day to leave Bermuda, and I left. And I'm glad I did, because when I went to New York, it broadened my mind, it broadened my horizons, and I was like, wow. For the first time, I saw that it just wasn't me as the only one going through this identity crisis.
There's so many.
So many.
Yes.
And for the first time for me, that's when I realized that I saw the difference of sexual identity for me for the first time. And that was a whole new ballgame, because I never looked at that. I just looked at myself as being different. Didn't understand why I was different.
Yeah.
But I couldn't communicate or even identify that it wasn't about me being gay. It was about me being my sexual identity. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was like, wow. And then I ended up with the Gay and Lesbian Community Center, who had counselors that was able to talk to me about my identity. And then I was like, oh my God, we need this place in Bermuda, And they welcomed me with open arms. They listened I bawled for like almost 45 minutes to an hour, just bawled.
Oh.
Because for the first time, I'm letting it all out.
Yeah.
Then to move along, it wasn't until 2003, I stumbled upon some friends of mine that were visiting in New York, who were living in New York illegally. And they were like, Sybil, you're the only person that can take a stand. I'm like, you mean tell me Bermuda is still going through this nonsense? Because at that time, I was flying into Bermuda to do my show and then leaving right back out. If I was here in 3 or 4 days, that's all I was. So then I had to figure out what could I do to make a stand, to take a stand, I should say. And I realized it was May 24th, which is our Bermuda Day. Bermuda Day is very similar to how you all have your Canada Day and July 4th Day. It's a very big deal here in Bermuda.
And that's May?
May 24th.
24th. So every May 24th is Bermuda Day.
Is Bermuda Day. And that's when we have our parade. Well, in 2005, I applied for being in the parade amongst the Culture First Ministry. And at first, there was some controversy with that. There was some slack. They didn't want me to participate. And it wasn't until on the 11th hour they said, okay, you could be in the parade. I did the parade. There was no controversy. I did it as Sybil Barrington wearing a Bermuda long-tail hat, and I was in a horse and carriage. There was no controversy. And I did the parade. People who recognized me. If they didn't, they just thought I was a woman and ran on right by.
They thought you were a woman?
They thought I was a woman. For the most part, they thought I was a woman. It wasn't until, like I said, if they knew me, they knew me. If they didn't know me, they thought I was a woman. And if they did know me, by the time I ran across, they were like shocked. But I was already going by.
You're there already?
Yeah, I was there.
Was somebody trying to stop you?
No, that didn't happen until the following year.
The following year, Mark was not allowed to participate after complaints that his drag routine was unacceptable in Bermuda. Here's Mark's amazing story of passion, inspiration, and creating more awareness on his advocacy close to his heart.
reason why I did that in 2005, and also at that time, I wanted ammunition because there was no controversy. And I also wanted to see if there would be controversy, and there was no controversy. And the following year, I sparked it. And I was like, because at that time, I knew I needed the country to talk about it. So I knew that anything that I would do as a woman, it would be okay. So I had to figure out a way. And it wasn't until late, I would say maybe 3 months before the parade, that I realized that I can be the queen of the gumbays. And what you don't know about the gumbays is that the gumbays, we have many groups in Bermuda. Bermuda has 9 parishes, and each of our parishes has its own gumbay troop. And you have troops that have been around for years. And this is all male, predominantly an all male cast. So I was calling myself the queen of the gumbays. So now I'm attacking the manhood, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And of course the gumbays got upset about it. And they were like, oh, no. And they threatened to boycott the parades. They fell right into my hands because for the simple fact, they didn't know that I was only using them to get the publicity out. And they fell right into my hands. And by them saying that they boycott the parade, NUM got the country's attention. So when they threatened to boycott the parade, I knew that I couldn't go ahead with it because I know that you have a lot of people that love the gumbays. Even you have some of the gays and lesbians that love to get gumbays.
Yes.
But I knew that I had to bow out gracefully, and I did. What I wasn't prepared for was what happened after that. And when I bowed out gracefully from calling myself the queen of the gumbays, then on the 11th hour, the government of Bermuda on both sides came together and unanimously had a press conference and banned me out of the parade. And in so many words, they never said it, but in so many words, they more or less threatened that if I was to show up, that I would be arrested. So I showed up.
Amazing.
I showed up.
And were you arrested?
No, but I showed up. And the interview went like this. I did a Joan Crawford.
Yeah, I know that. I heard about that.
I did a Joan Crawford. I was like, this is not my first time at the Rodeo Boys. This is not my first time. It's your first time. I said that I understand you all made a decision up on the hill to ban me from the parade. Uh-huh. And as queen of Bermuda, I override all your position, and I'm showing up. So get ready and let the drama begin. And I showed up. My mother was upset, very upset, because throughout all of this, she was the only person that I felt sorry for. Yeah. Because as a mother, as you know, no mother wants to see their child go through this sort of thing. But I had to sit my mother down. I had to make her understand that all what she's going to hear and all what she will hear, and if she's never heard it, she will hear it now. And I had to tell her, I said, Mama, you're going to hear some stuff about your child that you know is not true, but it's going to hurt you in many ways. But I want you to understand. I just want you to listen. I want you to take it all in and just know that I'm comfortable with whatever they're saying about me because I've heard it all before. And she was like, you're serious, Mom? I said, yes, Mom. You're going to hear now for the first time what they've been saying about me all these years. Oh, it was a mess. I mean, Luisa, this went on for months.
Really?
I upset the place.
Oh, wow. So you made a lot of noise, Mike.
I upset the place because you must remember, by me going up against the government, it was a big deal. I mean, I'm going up against the government. The government.
That's brave. That is so brave.
Yes.
I really
Yes.
want to commend you on that.
Yes, I mean, you know, I am the people tell me, the students tell me today that I'm a living legend.
You are a big celebrity.
Yeah, because I mean, this country has always been do as I say, not as you want to do. And for me to break those rules, for me to disobey their order, so to speak, I mean, that was huge. Because I tell everybody, I am the only one that's ever took on government like that by myself. I'm the only gay person. I'm the only black person. And I'm the only drag queen.
You made a big difference all over
Big
the world.
difference.
Not only here,
Yes.
not only here,
Yes.
but I'm pretty sure there are other
Yes.
countries and there are
Yes.
other places.
Yes, it
where-
went global.
Yes.
It got on CNN News. And then they banned me from the parade. I said, oh, hell no, I'm not running anymore. I'm not running anymore. And I said, you know what? I'm doing this. I'm walking in that parade. I'm going to walk for every gay and lesbian person, any person that's dealing with that sexual identity. I'm walking for you tomorrow. And I'm not going to lie, but I drank. I drank 4 shots of Sambuca. I had 4 shots of Sambuca, girl.
You had to.
I had to prepare myself, but it was 50-50.